We're reading over a few tales from the jails, another story from My Address is a River. Fred has been imprisoned by his drug habit for years. Now, almost 40, I talked to him through the thick scratched glass of the county jail. I had heard it all before. I gotta change, grow up, get off these drugs for myself, my family. I've wasted so much of my life, so much money. This time I looked in his eyes and saw a genuine hope. Maybe this time is the one. Maybe I'm present at the very moment. I tell him so. He's got to love himself. He can do it this time with support. We're pulling for him. We touch hands through the pane of glass. When are people ready to grow up and out of their destructiveness? Who can guess? I was guessing with this guy on this day. His moment had arrived. His eyes lit up as he looked me in the eye and put his hand to the glass. If anybody was full of promise, it was embodied there that day. Before I left to the free world and he to his boring day, we talked about housing. Where can I stay that's safe? He asked. We discussed the few options that would possibly keep him away from bad influences. We talked about work. He said, I used to have a good paying job. You know those fancy new apartments in town? I worked hard for 6 months laying the foundation, building the base of those homes. I could never even afford to live in one. I shook my head and said he'd find work again. As I walked out and then drove back into town, I looked over at those apartments. He built this city, I thought to myself. It hit me like a brick, a 2x4, a lump of cement. How many construction workers, builders, contractors, laborers built this town, this county, while struggling to pay the bills and the rent? How many did that work and then collapsed into poverty or crumbled into addictions? Who builds? Who destroys? Who cares about the ones who are buried under the brick and the concrete of our cities? Their muddy hands are on the glass. Makes you think, doesn't it?